Hello, this is Kim Cruz, and this is my presentation on legal aspects of the teacher evaluation process. The articles that we read for this assignment, in brief summary, the teacher evaluation process has changed throughout the country based on the implementation of ESSA. Many states have tied teacher evaluations to student achievement on standardized assessments with the value-added model. ESSA does not mandate what teacher evaluations need to be, but gives guidelines to follow and leaves the process up to state and local districts. This has led to effective teachers looking different from state to state and district to district. What could be considered an effective teacher in one district could turn out to be an ineffective teacher in the neighboring district. Teachers should educate themselves on what their district uses and what specifically the evaluation process means to them. There have been many court cases coming from the new teacher evaluations guidelines. There are a variety of reasons for these cases, from challenging the value-added model and how those scores are calculated, to inconsistencies in judging what an effective versus an ineffective teacher consists of. Many of these cases have not been completed yet. They're still in the court system, according to the articles we've read. In those that have been completed, the courts have ruled for the states, so teachers have not prevailed in challenging some of these regulations. I currently work for a special education cooperative, and so we provide special education services for 17 school districts. So our evaluation process covers not only teachers, but school psychologists, speech pathologists, OTs, PTs, a variety of service providers. And so some of the tools are difficult to make fit. They don't quite fit what we do, but yet we are required to use some of these models. So our cooperative in 2013 adopted the McCrell evaluation system, and the McCrell teacher evaluation system, there are two formal evaluations are conducted for teachers in years 1 and 2. The first evaluation and write-up has to be completed before November 1st, and the second one has to be completed by February 15th. For teachers on year 3 and 4, they receive one formal observation a year, and that has to be completed by February 15th. Once teachers have passed their 4th year, they go on a triannual evaluation cycle. So they are evaluated every 3 years after their 4th year with High Plains. Teacher observations are conducted by HPEC administration with building administration input prior to us moving to the McCrell system. Building principals had the responsibility of evaluating the special education staff within their building, and this didn't always get done because they didn't fall under the building administrator. So it was kind of a confusion of who was responsible for what. The observation is evaluated based on a rubric under 5 standards. Observations are determined to be developing, proficient, accomplished, or distinguished. And HPEC does not tie student achievement to their evaluation process. This was a big question when we were looking at evaluation tools. How would we tie our student achievement to teacher evaluations? If it was a growth model, it could be done, but just using state assessments and whether they had met grade level standards or not would be difficult because our students wouldn't be on IEPs if they were at grade level. So we are fortunate that we don't have to, at this point in time, tie student achievement to the teacher evaluations. For all teachers annually, they complete an annual goal setting. They have a meeting with their HPEC administrator and set goals for professional development. And the goals are set based either on personal desire to improve in an area, whether it's technology or communication, categorical needs. So our school psychologists get together and they develop what they would like to work on as a group. The speech pathologists, our elementary, interrelated or special education teachers do. Or we can focus on more local, district, and school-based needs. Teachers being formally evaluated in a year complete a self-reflection, and that self-reflection mirrors the observation tool. It's the 5 standards, and they go through and complete the rubric for themselves and can reflect on how they feel, where they are in that process. So if a teacher feels that their evaluation has not gone well, or they would like to challenge it, the only mapped out way to do it within the High Plains policies is through filing a formal grievance, and it's outlined in the grievance procedures for staff. The teachers need to specify how their contract has been violated through the evaluation, and the burden of proof somewhat falls on the teacher to map out what they want the remedy to be for their grievance. Other than a formal grievance, there's nothing stated on how to dispute a negative evaluation. So the court case I found was in New York State, involving a teacher named Sherry Lederman and the value-added model. Mrs. Lederman won her case. The courts determined that the test scores included in her evaluation were indisputably arbitrary and capricious. While this case benefited only Mrs. Lieberman, she may appeal to change the use statewide. It's unclear at this time if she will, because the state of New York has suspended or put on hold the use of the value added while more research is being conducted on this model and how it affects teachers. In reflection, it is important for administrators to continually educate themselves on changes in federal and state laws and district policies on teacher evaluations. If an administrator is not knowledgeable and does not know what their roles are, their responsibilities are, and what the laws are that govern the evaluations, then they can't possibly do a legal and ethical evaluation on a teacher. By knowing the laws and understanding how they impact the evaluation process, I can ensure that my evaluations are ethical, legal, and follow district policy. Teacher evaluation should be a process to help teachers improve, not a way to punish. I will follow the regulations and guidelines set forth while utilizing the evaluation tool to help teachers. These evaluations that teachers go through should be a way to improve. It should not be a way to be punished. And as a future administrator, that's my goal. I want to help teachers get better, not look for a way to punish them. So I appreciate your time. Thank you.